We happy at the back sound-wise? Do we need to check or anything?
We're good.
Right, very good. I'll let Rahul open us up.
Tom, welcome to Pune. You've had a couple of days to reflect on the happenings of Dharamshala in that high-octane, nail-biting finish that we had. What are some of the learnings, and how do you look forward to this game against South Africa now?
Yeah, as you said, reflecting on what was an amazing game of cricket. Obviously disappointing to come out on the wrong side of it. I think if you look at the game as a whole, we did a lot of good things really well. We're obviously put under pressure, or a lot of pressure at the start, the way Australia came out to bat, but I think the way we were able to pull ourselves back into the game, we obviously understood pretty quickly that it was a pretty decent surface, and it was going to be a high pass score. They probably got a little bit more than what we wanted towards the back end, but I think we obviously put ourselves in a position towards the end of the game to win the game, which is, I guess, what you want in these World Cup games, is to put yourself in a position where you can win. And when you're chasing something like 400, you kind of need everything to go well. And from a batting point of view, I thought we did a fantastic job. We were one shot away from being on the other side. So a lot of positives. We obviously reflected from a bowling point of view as well, and hopefully we can I guess put those learnings into practice tomorrow.
Just going on to that 388 that we kind of were chasing in that game, coming up against a side which has come close to 400 a couple of times in this tournament. Does that kind of make you look at strategy around how to utilize the bowlers a bit better and stuff like that as well?
Yeah, I think it's just recognizing situations as best you can, trying to be proactive as much as we can as well from a bowling point of view, and I guess a field placement point of view as well. And like every team, we do our scouting, trying to find, I guess, weaknesses, from a batting point of view from South Africa. But as you said, they're a team that's running pretty hot at the moment. They've got some guys in form, from a batting point of view. So again, it's going to be another great challenge, and we come to a different venue, and yeah, we've got to adapt as quick as we can to this ground here in Pune.
Last one from me. Jimmy Neesham's given you a good headache to have in the sense that he comes into the side and plays quite a vital role in that game. What happens with selection and stuff like that if Chapman's fine for selection as well?
Yeah, I think from a selection point of view, we've obviously just arrived here. We've got a few guys to get through a few fitness tests, and I guess once we train, we'll have a clearer idea of what the 11 looks like. So fingers crossed, all those guys can get through a bit of work today at training and be ready to go tomorrow.
Hey Tom, all the best for the game tomorrow. I just wanted to touch upon Glenn Phillips, the bowler. He's taken some huge wickets in the tournament so far. So how does the team sees his role as a bowler, and how he goes about developing his skills?
Yeah, he's been fantastic for us. He's obviously had sort of limited opportunity with the ball comparative to the other two guys, but he's an all-rounder for us that obviously has a lot of power with the bat, but also can bowl some handy overs, and it's nice having the option with the ball spinning the other way. And I think when he's bowled, he's obviously taken his opportunity really well. I think you look back to the Australia game a couple of games ago, where we were under a lot of pressure, and for him to bowl 10 overs from one end, and get three for 30 odd, I think it was obviously a fantastic effort on a wicket that wasn't necessarily offering a lot. So I guess it just shows he's a really hard worker. Someone that's hasn't been bowling off spin for long. He's a keeper from growing up. So I guess that just shows that the work that he's put in for him to get a few rewards throughout this tournament's been great, and I'm sure he'll be looking forward to hopefully get an opportunity again at some point with the ball, and hopefully he can, I guess, keep showing us the skills that he's got.
Hi Tom, can you give us any updates on Lockie Ferguson's Achilles, and also is there any update on Kane?
Yeah, just as I said before, there's Lockie, Kane, and Mark Chapman. We'll obviously get through hopefully a bit of work today, and then we'll see how they pull up from a selection point of view. But yeah, obviously Lockie went off in the last game with a bit of an Achilles niggle, so fingers crossed he'll be right for tomorrow.
And then I don't know what you gained from our intro, but it was about the Rugby Open and just kind of the sentiment around South Africa, and obviously they're taking a lot of inspiration from that. I know you guys didn't win it, but what can you get from the All Blacks, if anything, to kind of motivate yourselves?
Yeah, that was obviously a fantastic game of rugby. Obviously, again, unfortunate to be on the wrong side, but yeah, I guess you look at the All Blacks as a whole. They've played some great rugby throughout this World Cup. I think you look to the final, and I guess a Kiwi way is we look to scrap, the whole way. Obviously faced with a little bit of adversity in terms of being down to 14 men, but I guess it's something we talk about in our team as well as we scrap right to the end, regardless of the situation. And I think we showed that the other night, as well as taking the game as deep as we can. And if we can do that, then hopefully that gives ourselves a good chance, towards the back end of the game.
Such a long tournament, as a team, how do you go about picking at the right time? And in that context, the previous two games, would you say are the blessing in disguise?
Yeah, I think we just focus on every game as it comes. Really, every game's just as important as the next. And even though we've come off the back of a couple of losses, we've actually done a lot of good stuff as well. It's obvious, it's easy to point out the negatives and things that you may want to do better, but we've come close in both those games, especially the last one. And when you have some tight turnarounds, some quick turnarounds, it's about trying to obviously recognizing the areas that you want to get better, but then also focusing on the things that we do well. And if we do that, then as I said, hopefully we give ourselves a good chance towards the back end of each game.
Tom, I don't know. The situation in South Africa is that not too many people have noticed the Cricket World Cup because of the Rugby World Cup. And I just wonder, is something similar true in New Zealand? You guys have been able to kind of sail under the radar until now?
Look, there's obviously two, pretty special sporting events going on at the moment. Obviously, one's just finished, but we certainly feel the support that we have back home. It might be slightly different to other countries around the world, but we certainly feel the support. Back home, obviously a few people here as well, which is nice. Yeah, we certainly understand. The country's right in behind us, and hopefully we can, I guess, make them proud as much as we can.
Tom, South Africa's blueprint is fairly obvious for all to see. I mean, they're basically playing T20 cricket with 30 overs to get there. So early wickets is obviously the key, perhaps, to disturbing that blueprint. And obviously Lockie would be important. But are you thinking that bowl your strike bowlers up front? I mean, early wickets might be the key tomorrow?
Yeah, I think whatever game you play, not just against South Africa, I think it's important. Wickets are really important. That's the way to stem the run rate as best you can by taking wickets, and that's not just at the top, that's through the middle as well. And as you said, we've seen South Africa, they're running really hot at the moment, and they've got a lot of power throughout their whole lineup. So certainly wickets is going to be important, and I guess it's just trying to understand the matchups as best you can. And we certainly know we've got a world-class bowling attack as well, and when they're on song, they're certainly very threatening. So if they, I guess, bowl to the best of their ability, then we'll certainly give ourselves a good chance. But yeah, as I said, on the back of that, South Africa has a lot of batters that are in form, and certainly going to be a great contest tomorrow.
Just to sort of follow up to what you were asked the previous question, South Africa's chasing against Pakistan. Do you see any kind of opening for yourself in that kind of situation? Ask South Africa to chase, set up a target. Do you see anything different from what South Africa had done before while batting first?
Yeah, I guess whether you're batting first, whether you're bowling first, you've got to do it well. I guess you look at games in the past here, whether dew's going to be a factor, and I guess we're going to come up with the decision of what's going to be best for us in terms of how we want to approach this game. So I guess that sometimes you could look at the opposition and what they want to do, but for us it's always been about focusing on us and what's best for us as a team. So we'll obviously have those discussions throughout training and come up with those decisions.
Thanks, guys.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot, guys.